What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Here, as usual, with Nate. Nate, what's up?
What's going on, guys? Sunday evening
Sunday evening, yeah. I get the fall.
on September 25th. Got the Alpine. Just decided to have an Alpine. Nick cracked an Irish Red, so I said, you know what? We're going to do this.
100%.
Here in my, now what I'm calling my cricket studio, well, my makeshift studio all together of our podcast and such. Today Nick's going to shoot off a pretty fun topic, I guess. We're going to be talking video games. We all love video games, so
Exactly. We're going to be talking about the video games of our childhood, Nathan. I see that you got a Ball Hockey Union sweat t-shirt sitting up there. That was one of our sponsors. I hope you guys really enjoyed that intro that was played before the podcast that was made. Yeah, it's just something that we just decided to throw in there as a little extra. Yeah, I hear a lot of podcasts that have that. So, as you see our sponsors, we like to thank them. But yeah, Ball Hockey Union. I want to explain that little business here. That's new.
Well, so much business. I just so this is the Ball Hockey Union is a lifestyle created clothing brand. It's myself who is gonna try to brand this. I'm doing everything on my own. I'm printing and pressing. I am cutting and placing. So the idea behind it is I really have some long-term goals with the whole Union Ball Hockey brand itself. It's I've been around the sport for 15 years, so excuse me if not longer. So the idea is to create something that people can wear to the rink, wear outside, stay warm and cool often, doesn't matter. Ultimately, we'll be hosting, having some pickup hockey events where I'll be able to kind of sponsor them on my own, my free time, have the Ball Hockey Union events where we have pickup and I'll be able to sell some clothing, Quality wise, with my clothing, it's made from my cricket studio here. It's all pressed by me. It's all ironed on. So, 100% warranted on my clothing. If something doesn't go your way, we could fix that. Of course, most of my clothing now we have hoodies, sweatpants, and shirts that are coming out now. You can see the shirt in the background there. That's just one of the designs that I'm doing. I need to get some more vinyl and do some things, but it should stay pretty palatable. I mean, this is my first time working with the stuff, but I like how the vinyl looks. It's just shiny. It's multiple layered. It looks really nice. Again, like I said, just to having a few events where we'll pick ups, try to sell some things. Not necessarily try to preach you onto that, but eventually the goal with the brand is, I think, I'd like to be able to start some sort of fund for kids who can't afford to play the sport to get into the sport. And, as a union, the Ball Hockey Union, the community, that's why I just come up with that name. So, as I progress, if it progresses, right now we're just starting small, and I just thought that I would get a clothing line built and then eventually, try to throw off some events where people can come play some hockey. And if they're interested in buying my stuff, if they're not, well, you can tell me it's crap. You can tell me it's good. I'm going to want to get better from that too. So, I think the first print of my sweatpants, I had a letter that messed up on there, and that's going to happen. But those are my kind of pants to wear around. You don't got to wear them. I'm hoping your product would come a lot better. But yeah, just ultimately, I just wanted something I can give back to the sport, and then have somebody wear around a clothing brand, So like I said, eventually, I'm hoping that if we get it kicking off, that if I'm going to start a design that's dedicated to potentially hoping. Anyways, just giving back. If there's kids that can't afford to play the sport too, I wouldn't mind giving a fee or two in support of those kids. But that's a little ways out now. I got to grow the brand. I need to start getting my feet wet with that. But I think it's just something cool to start. It's something I found that, just like this podcast here with me and you, I know how dedicated you are, Nick, and love the podcast. We both enjoy doing that. Of course, not being said with not just that merchandise behind me, but
you definitely get something.
We're gonna start creating some podcast stuff. That's a design that Nick did there.
Yeah.
Go back.
Lean back. Don't fall out of your chair, big guy.
That's one of the designs. Now that's a little more than we'll be able to do. We have some ideas, and but I just I mean the clothing I would improve from quality onward, trying to make the right now majority of my stuff is cotton, so cotton it's comfortable. It's it's nice to wear, but it also shrinks quickly if you don't wash it properly. So make sure you wash your clothing properly. And I plan on getting washing directions with that too. Yeah. Flip it inside out. I mean, anybody knows that. If you want to keep your clothing in decent shape, flip your stuff inside out, right? Wash as directive says, because you're going to lose your stuff. So, but other than that, I did put my sweatpants through their first wash, and they look okay so far. So, aside from a print error on my end with the letters messing up, which is not going to happen each time. But yeah, that's the idea behind that. We'll definitely get some C&W merchandise on the press. I bought the Cricut machine, like it says right next to me. That thing it's very, very addicting. I spent a lot of time on it since I got out there last week. And I've spent a lot more time on it than I probably would want to.
We fiddled around with that the other day, and that was pretty fun. I enjoyed that. Tried making a couple of views.
It takes a lot to get used to, but it's a pretty neat machine. But onward from the sponsor of today's episode in our C&W merchandise, which we will be looking forward to having. We have heard feedback again from our episodes, and people who are listening who are enjoying it, who says how we should make some longer topics, and that they've been breezing through our episodes quickly. We appreciate that. We hear that, and I'm glad you're listening to us and you're not sick of us yet. So, Nick, today's topic.
Yeah, great stuff there, Nathan. And definitely check him out. You can see him on Facebook with his with the Ball Hockey Union, and especially McLean's projects there. I forgot to mention them. If you have any improvement needs, I don't know how much Nathan's into it, but if you're gonna get anything built, it's probably by me and Nathan.
Always would be there to do a project. As always, McLean's project is always open. It's never closed. No. If you have a project to do, I'm there. I would help. Come to me with quotes as well. You can follow me McLean's Projects on Instagram and Facebook, and you can follow me at Ball Hockey. It's actually Ball Hockey underscore Union, or Ball underscore Union Hockey, whatever. But one of those, I see a new Instagram that you can follow. I can actually take a look here, so you're following the right one.
Yeah.
And then we'll get off onto our topic here.
So while you do that, man. So today, guys, we have a topic, and the topic was chosen our top 15 video games. I think Nate's got it up there now. It's a little blurry, pull it back a bit. Our top 15. We'll put the handle on the video anyway, so you guys see it in the description. So our top 15 video games are our childhood, and I tried to kind of tell Nate that we would take this from the year 2000, and we would cap it off at the year 2010. So
Nick wanted to go from the year 2000.
What's that?
You wanted to go from the year 2000. I'm looking back because I'm an N64 guy, so we're going to be talking some N64 too.
You know what? We're just going to free ball here. I got my top 15 written down so I can pull off them. Nathan's got his in his brain, so guys, let's just get right into it. Video game was definitely a huge thing of our childhood, Nathan. Just I can remember we'd come home after school, and the first thing we do is we fire up the PlayStation, we fired up the Xbox, or we'd fire up the N64, whatever it was. We always had the updated system, and we'd always be playing games after school, and it was definitely a huge part of our childhood. So this is extremely exciting for me to do, and I'm sure you're just as excited, Nathan, to start listing some games and talk about them.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just hoping here that, sorry to cut the topic off, and definitely I did hear you through my speakers, so I'm hoping that you're not echoing on our back end here on both sides here. But,
yeah, I hope not.
But if not, we will record this whole thing again, probably. So, but yes, back on your thing, back in the day, you'd come home and you'd be hitting the video games hard. And one of the things is, I can remember, so back in my day, the community center days, you would remember those days, since you want to go 2000s onward, 1990 to 2000 would be something I don't remember too often. Was born 1994, but the most popular system would have been Sega and Super Nintendo and
NES?
64. Yeah. And not the NES, but the Nintendo 64. So for me, I was more of a Nintendo 64 guy. Nintendo 64, my favorite all-time game with that is it was what, sorry?
Yeah, I said it was bomb. I love the 64. I got a few of those written down too. So let me just start with 64.
Well, so my all-time favorite on the 64, and never would be Super Smash Bros.
Yes, I had that written down. I love that game as well, man. What do you love about it?
That's the only one I really played. So,
I love how you can pick from all the characters, from Link to Donkey Kong to Zelda. You know, like Zelda. You got like Mario. Everybody, man. It was cool. And then you're just up there brawling and just having a good time.
Yeah, the spaceship was a classic one.
Yeah, I would say that was for sure.
Jumping back and forth on a spaceship and fighting boys. So
yeah. I liked for N64, and I thought it was cool. And you might remember this. We might still have it somewhere tucked away. Cruis'n USA.
I don't still have it, but I do. It was the classic, what you would think now, movie theater, arcade, box, and chair game. Yeah. So, like, Cruis'n USA was that.
Picture the old driving wheel.
Here's your TV. Here's your joystick and your controller. You're going to her. And then you have the race that you're racing Corvettes and all these cool classic cars around the USA state, which was pretty neat. So
yeah, that was cool. And I really enjoyed that game, and I know that we have it tucked away somewhere in a box.
Well, I don't know if we still have it or not personally, but it was one of the better Nintendo games that I had the chance to always enjoy playing. Yeah. Zelda, as you know. You talk about Super Smash Brothers, but my favorite game that I did play, and we would play this at the Southland Community Center here in the Boys and Girls Club, because they had multiple systems. You sit in a room, which was neat. You know, you don't get this so much anymore. Game room that you'd have like 5 to 6, 7, 8 systems on one row. Yep. Eventually, they would switch from they got the PlayStation 2 in there, and you start playing PS2 in there, and then you get the Xbox and so and so. NHL 94, that was a classic for me. Yeah. NHL 2000, and the those games are classics. Like,
was there one where you get to drive the Zamboni in it? What year was that?
I'm not sure what year that is, man. I mean, I personally.
If you guys know, maybe write that down in the comments, please. I can't remember.
I'm not sure. It was intermission. It might have been NHL 2000. Let's just take a look here.
Yeah. I remember one of the NHLs you could do that, and then you could also hit the guys into the glass and it would break. And that was a classic too, as well.
Yeah, it's not really showing EA NHL. Might have been 2001.
It's definitely in the 2000s. It was the early era of the EA Sports. Nowadays, they don't really have a lot that, not a lot to
1999 to 2000 NHL season is underway. EA Sports laced the skate ups yet again.
Yep.
Says play speed up. The biggest problem with, I don't think this is too much about the Zamboner graphics. Were pretty increased. I mean, but it was pretty cool. There was one where you clean the ice in between. I do that now as a career, so I don't technically. It's like so I'm in a video game myself.
So you would say 94 was probably one of your favorites, or can you rank which NHL would have been your favorite?
To date, I can't see on my screen. I'm trying to get you back here.
Yeah.
There you go. So to date, my favorite NHL game. 2009, 2010. Just before they inputted the junior hockey teams come in. That was great the first couple of years.
Yeah.
Then the novelty kind of wore off. They just installed the IHF update, I think, last year. But I want to say my favorite one was those years for sure.
Yeah.
2014
they were mine for sure.
And I did enjoy 2019, the year PK Subban was on the cover. I don't know if that was just because nothing's changed since that date,
Nothing's really changed at all.
Ultimately, before when they started putting a skill stick in the game, that really changed the game for me of NHL. And it made you just not an X's and O's or a A and a B guy. You had to be skilled with the stick and you're shooting the puck. So for me, when the skill stick went in, which I believe was around 2009 and 10, or from 2001 to 2010, 2014 area, May the skill stick may come in, like you said. But yeah.
Do you enjoy the skill stick? Because I mean, I really like it. I feel like it's easier to poke check and like hit boys with.
I've been so adjusted to the skill stick now. I do know guys, God bless them, who actually play classic controls. And one guy I know, shout out to Steve. Steve Gogan. Every time you play him, he's a classic control guy, and he doesn't fucking change the controllers back to the settings when you play.
You go to play it, it's
stuck on. You get into a game, and you're like, what the hell's wrong with my skill stick? Well, Steve, there's a shadow for you. Change the damn settings, would you?
Yeah. Oh. No, and those are good games, man. And I definitely think you can't go wrong with a good NHL game. I don't know if I'll probably purchase a new one this year, but, time will tell.
And another game for me, and a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, well.
Backyard wrestling. There was a game back in the days.
Xbox original. We own that. I remember that. We just played each other in that.
It was.
We should start by saying.
I forget what it was called.
Yeah, we should start by saying that we only had the one system growing up. We were twins, and we were forced to share everything, of course. And one of them was our system. So we'd come home and we'd play a lot of multiplayer games. And Backyard Wrestling, I would say, was probably one of the best ones that we played. We just beat the shit out of each other in that game, and you get to hit each other with light bulbs, barbed wire, chairs, jump off trailers and stuff.
You would jump off transit trucks. You would throw in each other. Remember, there's like fish tanks, and you just toss them in, and then it start cracking. Toss them in, toss them in. About 4 tosses, and the whole water would break and go, and the fish would come out.
I remember one of the characters had like the clown face paint on. Looked like the insane clown posse.
Yeah, that was probably big for that. Yeah, but that game was cool. I think just the creativity of that stuff. Like I was, and then you get on the WWE, like a lot of their games, some of them now. The new one's pretty good. I do like that.
SmackDown versus Raw. Remember that one?
SmackDown versus Raw ECW era was pretty cool. Did a lot of that gaming, but
it's when the back Raw first came in.
They progressed over the years with their game. That's it's come more than just fighting, but just any type of those games. Backyard wrestling was huge fun for me.
Yeah. And I still play wrestling to this day, man. I got the new WWE 2K game, and that's pretty fun. But I mean, like, not to compare to the OGs, right? So
22 and WWE 22 is really good. They skipped a year last year during the COVID era. They had an issue with their online systems. They still kind of do. Like, you have to do some weird stuff to play online. I think you shouldn't have to. What's tough about the WWEs, man, it's like, you can it's a long game, so it is worth your money, but you gotta learn the controls, because, you get your ass beat half the time by friggin' guys who are probably like 10 years old.
So. No, 100%. So off that topic, I was going to switch to another game, one of my favorite Ultimate games growing up, of course, and everyone else's. You started off from the shitty overview, hanging in like little ant-looking people, you know where I'm getting to, Grand Theft Auto, and I think Grand Theft Auto is probably one of my ultimate favorite games growing up. And San Andreas for me, yeah, I was going to say. San Andreas. I thought it was awesome. You go and you get the low riders, you go and you drive past the ballers, and you can do drive-by shooting and stuff, and that was just awesome. That was cool, man.
Yeah, I used to like going to the airport a lot, trying to drive the planes. I mean, it's crazy to think now that the Grand Theft Auto, the newest Grand Theft Auto has been out for as long as it has, and has succeeded as long as it has.
Yeah.
It's been a number of years. It's gone through 2 generations of consoles, and it's and they're now on. I think. Well, it's starting to come from PS3, right?
What's that?
Grand Theft Auto 5 come on PS3, move PS4.
PS4, yeah.
They're on
now it's on
and now
PS4.
they're on PS5. They are on 3 generations of consoles.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And I don't know.
That's like 15 years of one game, which is crazy.
I don't know if they'll put out a new one anytime soon or not, but the rumor's out.
Rumor has it that they're looking to do it, and rumor has it it's there's a lot more rumors as it goes, like it's going to be soon, but then you hear 6 years out now. Like,
yeah,
the build-up's a little crazy for that. They're probably going to have new consoles by then. They'll probably want to sell it by then. But for me, I don't think it's more about. I think it's more about trying to create a buzz to buy all these consoles up in time, and then all of a sudden the game drops, and then you can't get a console again. I'm sure if I really wanted a PlayStation 5, I would really put the effort in getting on it, but there's such a waiting list for that, and I'm just kind of tired of trying to do all
that. I still got the PS4, and I really appreciate it. Like, it's a good system. So
yeah, and on newer games, like I tried Modern Warfare, the new one, and I got into 2 matches, and I wasn't too crazy about that. I've been playing Vanguard. Call of Duty Vanguard.
Yeah, so you would say Call of Duty.
I'm not a Warzone fan. I don't play Warzone. Don't have enough system storage to even play half these games. So,
what's your favorite Call of Duty, man? On that topic, because we are talking about our favorite childhood games here.
Favorite Call of Duty would have to be Black Ops 2. Yeah. Modern Warfare 2 with Rust and High Rise, I think it was called at the time.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Modern Warfare 3 series went pretty good too, and onward, so.
Yeah, and I think you can't beat the Modern Warfare series with that new one coming out. I tried the beta, I didn't like that too much. I probably won't end up playing that, but.
I couldn't get one kill on it.
No? Oh, well, you suck, clearly.
There's guys who are 16, level 16, and I'm like, holy crap! I just start at level 1, I get out, turn the corner, snipe.
You can't go wrong with
shot.
You can't go wrong with the OG Black Ops #1, diving down the stairs head first, zombies. I have to say,
I'm a huge Zombies fan.
King of Terror, or King something, I can't say it.
Kinda Totten or something.
Yeah. That's saying so.
I did when we bought the new Black Ops or one of the ops. I bought the expansion packs, and a friend of ours, Josh Eatman, who we would fucking game with. So you go home and play zombies. We'll play zombies, and we would do zombies consistently. After school or wherever it be on the weekends, holidays, we would sit and we would get to round 50 or so, whatever it be, crazy round numbers. And then you'd get a mixture. We bought the expansion packs, so I think we had a mixture of a couple of games of the old maps and then the new maps. So we had 10 different zombie maps. What I would like to see from Zombies itself, and the Modern Warfare franchises. Call of Duty franchises, as they progress forward and they're thinking, should we create something new, zombies, this, that, and you have enough zombie content to create your own zombie game, and just one
take it out
base
of Call of Duty in general.
It'll be a side project of its own.
So instead of having it as Call of Duty,
you would have every zombie map from game 1 to the newest game, and then add new ones onto that, and then just release a zombie if you're into it, because there's lots of zombie category games that are and there's a lot of good ones which I'm not hugely into it. There's Days Gone and stuff like that.
Played Days Gone?
I have. I got into it very small.
I don't like how the motorcycle runs out of gas too quickly though. When trying to get around place to place.
I played there's a lot more. I just have to take a look at what there is. World War Z and stuff like that. I'm not a huge fan of having thousands of zombies chasing you. I always thought Call of Duty was just the right amount of zombies, and you get a chance to break and do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because you know what I mean. Like myself, I'm sure you can. I can't sit still and play that long anymore.
So Activision, if you're listening, make your own zombie games. Put a campaign in it and everything. That'd be cool. I would really buy that game.
Like, yeah, I think you could do that. A campaign in it, like a Call of Duty zombie campaign, open world where you get to choose a character, move around, and mix around little things like the dogs and the stupid, crazy little friggin' things that have popped into the game over the years with the old zombies, of Nazi zombies and all that. That's the classic. But have some modes you can change through. They have enough content now. I believe that the game itself is now kind of dried out when it comes to. It's the same thing, like map play and all that. Like campaign. So far I've been playing Vanguard. Vanguard is, and I think now when I look at it as modern era game, is my favorite Call of Duty.
Really?
Personally.
Jeez.
Yeah, I hated it at first, but playing it more now, it's my go-to. Click, go, play. There is some maps that will piss me off, but there's a lot of cool maps. I played one yesterday that was like this little. It looked like a pop-up video, like a board game, but like had high rises, and you're running around little high rises, small map blitz. I'm a fan of small map games.
Yeah.
You rack up the points quicker, you're going to die quicker, but you rack them up quicker, and it is a lot better.
Well, on a side note, maybe we'll have to play after this a couple rounds of Vanguard.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So we'll take it back.
So I got
a throwback for you, though, Nathan. Sorry to cut you off. I don't know what you're about to say, but what were you about to say?
Nothing. This just wasn't important. I was just going to say, aside from Call of Duty, what do you got on for other game topics?
Oh, okay. Right. Sorry, I should have let you talk a little bit there. I'm going to take you to a little throwback. I won't bring this one up yet. I have a really good one that I know you'll love and you'll be able to talk about for days, just like me. But let's throw back to the young juvenile days of being a graffiti artist, and let's go back to one of my ultimate favorite games that I know you love, Mark Esco's Getting Up. On top of that, The Warriors.
Absolutely. And guys, sorry if you see me on video touching my eyes. The dog's bugging me a little bit of allergies. I've been around out with him all day. But yeah, Mark Esco's Getting Up was a hell of a game. I would still have that game today if I didn't lend it out as a dumb kid. Couple of twins in the South End took it from me, never seen it again, but it's what it is. Yeah. So Mark Esco's Getting Up and the Warriors. We're going to talk two of those games, and we're going to talk a decent, because Getting Up as a young kid, me growing up in an urban core area, living in the uptown St. John, the South End. At my age, you probably talk about it now, but because I see it all over the place now, and I was never one of those type of person, but graffiti was very intriguing to myself as well as you, and I kind of had we had a very good phase with that. I would, so for me, took some of that phase into the video game. Mark Esco, if you don't know who Mark Esco is, he's the creator of Esco Clothing, kind of like a gangster, baggy type clothing. Back in the day, the game was called Mark Esco Getting Up. Basically, you run the world of New York. I believe it was New York City, was it?
Something like that. Something like that. It's a very urban, like subway area. I think it was New York. I mean, I remember tagging trains and stuff, so very well could have been.
So yeah, you run the urban core of a city. You would, you'd get spray paint and stuff like that, and you'd be able to kind of shop around. You get some paints, and they get you to spray paint pieces. You got this identity as this guy who spray paints pieces, but there's police officers who go around that just police you as a graffiti artist, and they look for them, right? They would chase you or catch you, and you have to run away. You basically get the scale of the buildings. You would get into the train rail systems. You would crawl fences. You would crawl up in billboards. It was pretty cool, man. And I would play that game for hours for sure. That was neat. So
yeah, and I liked how it was very original. Like you get to fight people in it. You got the spray paint. You got to run from the cops, and like I don't know. It's just at the time, like it was just a fun game to play, and it was just cool. Like
Well, it's an original game, right?
yeah,
It's like the AN1 series.
yeah. And,
Right, the AN1 games come out. There's actually a Netflix documentary talking about that right now,
really?
about AN1.
I didn't know that.
I watched that.
What's that called?
I had about 10. What's it called? AN1. I'm sure you search AN1, it'll come up there.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's talking about basketball and like how they grew the AN1 brand, how it become so big over top of the actual NBA, and they're selling out arenas and blah 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 blah. But and they talk about the games that they had. The AN1 basketball street series is one. There's number 2 and 3. And then you had the professor in there, the basketball guy. So those games were around the same time. And what was unique to Microsoft and Xbox, what are you doing? It's unique to Microsoft and Xbox at the time. I think that you see a lot more of those.
Yeah, it was fun too, right? And it was one of those games that I definitely hate that we lost because I still play it to this day. I might have to go and try to check out Beats and Bytes or some secondhand stores, see if I can find that. And I would love to play.
Good luck trying it, man. You may have to look in eBay or something silly like that, but
it'd be probably a little pricey.
It may not play on. You need an original Xbox to play on it.
My favorite, which I recently was playing because you can get on PlayStation now, The Warriors. Man, that was based off the movie. You were a gang. You were the gang called the Warriors. You went around beating other gangs up to claim your turf, and then you would tag other stuff. Well, come out to play, yeah. And then you would tag buildings, and then just try to claim your turf, and you'd I used to love it because I always get this stuck in my head when you go past the bums and they're on the street, and I smoke crack, or is that where was that from? GTA dollars. I smoke crack because it gives me knowledge. That's not that.
Oh, there was bums in that game too.
I know. So you see the bugs, man? They're all over my eye.
Yeah, but that was a cool game, man. That was another creative game. But basically, you had 4 or 5 different games that kind of baseball theories and different things like that. They dressed up in Yankees outfits, and they come around, they meet, and they brawl each other, right? And then you do missions, right? Ultimately, it was a pretty easy game to beat, but it took a little bit of time. You'd rob stores, and you get
tapping on the buttons, X, Y, and B. We are Xbox with that game.
A lot of fighting, one of those Street Fighter games, but had more of a storyline to it, which is neat. Yeah, that one was the Warriors, and the Warriors.
Really enjoyed that. Actually, I would say out of all the games,
that's actually available on the PlayStation as well. I think
you can get it right now. Yeah, so it's just saying I got it on my PS4.
Another game. I know we're flipping back, and you guys are probably listening here, holy freak, how many games? But since we're going to talk about something, another game that I really enjoyed was it was made. I don't know if it was on Xbox as well. It may have been Bully. You ever played that one?
Yeah. I remember that.
The Bully series. Basically, it's this game that you go to. I don't know if it's a high school. I think it might have been high school at the time. You go and you're a bully.
It's prep school.
Prep school, and you're a bully, and you bully these people. You can shove them in the lockers. You can go to the school gym. You can go to the soccer field and run around, do missions and all that. Very old school game, really old school game. The Bully series, and I think that there's a number. They're looking at possibly making number 2 of that game as well.
I didn't mind it. I just didn't think it was my favorite, but it was fun, and it's one of those free roaming games that you just kind of go and you explore. It's reminds me kind of the Harry Potter games, and I think the same makers made it, but just, it's another fun game to play for sure. Rockstar made that game too, I think.
Rockstar has all kinds of library of games, obviously. You're talking about Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that. That was one of their kind of creativity games for sure. And, Red Dead Redemption, you a fan of that, are you?
Somewhat. I did play it. I don't think it was my
Number
favorite.
1, I played a lot. I just... Number 2 was, I guess, one of the best-selling games out there next to GTA 5, so...
Or that being an Indian, or not Indian cowboy, but being a cowboy, riding the horses and stuff was fun. It was pretty much Grand Theft Auto, but in the Wild Wild West, right? And that was kind of cool. It all depends on what you like, so...
Yeah.
Now let's take this back. Do you remember when we were children and we would buy Lucky Charms or Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and you would get a free computer game with that?
I do believe Yeah, I do. That was like taking it way back, man. So one of the cereal companies would do a free game giveaway. One of them would have been like Roller Coaster Tycoon, which is a huge fun game of mine back in the day.
We used to play that all the time.
Play-Doh World, which was a kid who liked Play-Doh, where you would make creations around board games. Monopoly.
Toy Story. I used to love that one.
It's like a mechanic game that they give, like, you mess around with that, and that's cool, man. Like, you don't see much of that anymore, but, like, that was pretty cool. Computer games were kind of big back in.
Start giving out free games again, would you?
Yeah, like, come on, cereal companies, it's like giving out PlayStation 4 games or a chance to win them or something. Like, it's a broke world out here.
And you give free shit out anymore.
Xbox 360 games, they don't even give anything out hardly anymore. You gotta put a discount pre-code on there.
Free movie tickets.
1 in 90,000 chances to win a free signed toque, which you can make up for like dirt cheap with your Kellogg's money.
Yeah. No, I remember like he used to always enjoy get cereal as a kid, Nate, because we'd always get the games. And you know what? Even while being on this PC topic, like one of the things too is when I remember being back in middle school and trying to kill some time in tech class. You'd be bored listening to a teacher's lecture, and you'd throw on the old pinball.
Pinball.
The old pinball. Man. Do you remember that?
I do, yeah. Pinball is a classic install on the Microsoft 94 Windows.
Yeah. And then after the pinball, you want to play a little pinball. You'd go from the pinball. It's actually called Space Cadet Pinball.
Space Invaders.
Space Invaders. No, it was Space Cadet, but close enough. Space Invaders. I never played that game. That was a good game, but the old Atari, man, I still have one of those, but it's retrospected, so it's got like a bunch of games on it. Yeah, you get that water to you, big boy. Yeah, no, I mean, it's crazy because back when we were kids, you used so much, and then I know a game we used to play a lot, and it was a way to connect with your classmates and stuff in school. Oh, that's a nice goal. Habbo Hotel.
Habbo Hotel. So, hobo. Well, Jesus, what did I just say?
I will trade my Habbo HC Club sofa for your...
Fuck. We used to rob it from people back in the day.
Yeah.
Get your password somehow.
Don't say that. They'll still smite you for it.
It's cool. Though it is a mobile game now, but the Habbo Hotel games were basically this small computer game where you would go and log on, you create your own little room, and you get furniture to buy. You buy these 8 Habbo points, which you could get at the gas station. I remember you, a couple of guys were really hooked on it, and we'd go and shovel in the winter. No kids do that nowadays, but it's good to see that some kids in the neighborhood may come around once in a while and ask to shovel my driveway.
Yes,
if you're a kid and listening to this, maybe you want some money, you can come shovel my driveway.
I'm a strong, capable guy. I don't really need no kids to do it, but if there's a day where I don't, maybe I'll go on it.
If you want to come up 5:30 in the morning when I go to work and it's shoveled, but they won't do that.
It's called a snowblower, Nathan.
Snowblower needs some work, that's for sure.
You get that snowblower going.
Nonetheless, what we're saying about the Habbo points, Nick, was we would shovel and we get some money for it, and we go and buy it at the gas station.
We'd grind it right out. We'd hop right on Habbo. We'd just start chatting with our friends, and we'd we'd play Habbo. We'd buy furniture and buy rooms. Excuse me. I decorate it, and I don't know if that's still active or not, man. Because Habbo was a good game, good way to connect with your friends online, but I don't know if they still make it or not, Nathan.
Yeah, there's a Habbo Hotel mobile. If you go on there now, you can find it. I'm pretty sure it's still around.
And then, that being said, skateboarding games, bud, that was fun because we were skater kids growing up. Actually, it's kind of funny. I went to a birthday party tonight for the girlfriend's little nephew, and I was trying to teach him how to skateboard. So first time in, is that Habbo? Nice.
Habbo Hotel Mobile.
So the first time in, 10 years I hopped on a skateboard. That was interesting. I definitely tried to be careful there, not breaking an ankle, but reminds me of going back into the skate days and the Tony Hawk, because I just recently downloaded Tony Hawk 1 and 2 Retroed. Have you played that?
I have played the originals, and I did buy the remastered version when it came out last year. Pretty good, classic. I don't like, since you can't compare the both. You really can't. I would consider myself more of a skill stick guy back in talking about, that with NHL and all that. So
Skate would be your game.
Skate is good, but if you want to go classic and the classic tunes and doing, the games, color the ramps and all that, that was cool. That was Tony Hawk was the way to go. The remastered was pretty good. I still have it. I didn't keep it on my system for too long, so there's a newer game I tried to launch too. I forget what it's called, but you remember what that was?
Newer game for what? Skateboard?
Game that come out, yeah.
I know what you're talking about, because I think I downloaded that as well, and it wasn't that good. No. Yeah. I don't know if you got any more games, Nathan, but I thought this was such a great episode. I've had fun doing this with you, man, and oh, no, there is another game, and I actually kind of forget. Keep on rocking in the free world, bud, with the old Guitar Hero and Rock Band. Remember those days we did? What was your favorite Rock Band? What was your favorite? Did you play drums, guitar, or did you sing?
Rotated around. I did try to sing.
Yeah.
We go back on the topic of Guitar Hero. So, back in the day when that was out, there's a popular spot in St. John that we would attend. Back in the day, of course, things don't stick around too long here within the city of St. John. It's a shame, but, but ideas transfer over, and we would go to a place called U-Zone next to Ozone Nightclub, uptown St. John and King Street. We would play... you basically go there and you can rent a system, $10 or so an hour, and you add a couple of dollars to your account. You can sit right there at computers, and it's a pretty cool spot, man. You can sit there at your computers, and like we are now, and you're gaming, playing Call of Duty with 5 or 10, 20 people in the room, and you're playing them on the same servers. Or I believe Counter-Strike was a huge game back in the day. So
that was a good game, I remember playing.
Yep. But aside from that, that's where I remember playing Rock Band, Guitar Hero. Not starting out there, it was about the time it got popular. But, Guitar Hero, man, I was talking about that today, actually, and there's a song on that I said to Morgan there. I said, that song was on Guitar Hero, and that's a classic. I said, now I think it might have been called The Strokes or something, but, that one, and there's
that one?
Someone told me yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Daddy's all right. Daddy's all right. You just seem to get away. Yeah.
I think that was Guitar Hero. And then there's, 1, 2, 3, whatever. Yeah, I mean, and then again, like I was saying, when I was talking to her, I said, nowadays, did you imagine the cost? That game would be a hit, a smash, if they brought back Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
Oh, 100%.
The cost, though, to manufacture the drums, the guitar, the microphone, and put the game together, you think it was expensive back in the day. You probably paid just over $200 for it. You're probably going to pay just over $300 for a brand new kit if they brought that.
If not more, but you probably paid about $500. And I thought the kits were more back in the day.
I got a set of electric drums over here in the corner that I don't use, and it actually was pretty neat because I was looking up. You can buy a plug-in to play Rock Band drums on those if I wanted to. But back to the saying is the cost of manufacture and how much a game costs nowadays at $90 a piece. I cannot imagine how much it would cost to buy Guitar Hero or Rock Band and all. But man, do they ever need to bring that back? That was good. I fear though if it comes back, it's not going to be the music that we know, the classic add-ons where you get Disturbed, Sweet Child of Mine, Sweet Cherry Pie, she's my cherry pie. When I was young, I'm like, woo, fuck, look the video of that up, Cherry Pie is all right.
Yeah.
But Yeah, bring that stuff back now. You're probably going to get mainstream music, which kind of sucks. You're not going to get the. There's all kinds of alternative tunes that you can add to make that game pretty back to where it was. So,
but you might get plugins
like,
too. Like if they did remake it, you'd probably have to like purchase songs. Like if you look at, I'm trying to think of the name, Beat Saber. Beat Saber's the big thing now. You put on the headset and it's the what's that thing called?
yeah, you hit the buttons. Everything
Yeah.
right back to Dance Revolution, man.
Oh man,
DDR,
that
but
game you can't even get me
like,
started on
but
that.
remember we used to have the mat for one, and it wasn't exactly DDR. It was a different game. Our arrows are a little messed up, but right back to Dance Revolution, man. Like those were back in the PlayStation era. Those were good friggin' games. Those were, like you used to have more simulator games, like than you would compared to newer age. Like I guess with I'm not huge on what do you call that there? Virtual reality stuff,
Oculus,
right?
and that's what I
All
was
I
saying
know
there.
is
Beat Saber.
all I know is VR. People like to kind of with the Beat Saber, I guess, like you said,
Yeah.
but all I know with VR is people are watching too much VR porn out there and they're jerking the air off. So
So what you're trying to
not
say is,
good.
kids, watch porn safely.
Well, that's right, but no, back as a well, I was just on a topic there of just talking about virtual games. One that we used to play, there's an American Idol singing game that we used to play at the community centers. It's probably kind of cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
lots of those DDR. There's baseball games where you get the bat and you would actually like hit like a T-ball thing, and you would play the game and the ball would go far and wide. Like
Really got
so, cool
interactive,
stuff.
and then you look at Wii, and when Wii came out, you got Wii Sports, Wii Fit, like
Yeah, we really the Wii really changed the way the world thought about VR. Before people thought about VR, the Wii was interactive games. The Wii Fit machine, which people eventually got canceled because people were saying it would call you fat and stuff like that, right? Like because and even
a very
because like the
shameful world we live in.
yeah, well, it's like cancel culture wasn't a huge thing back in the day like that, but if it was, it would have been in better shape. So, there's a lot of weird things going on in the world, and people call you out quickly now about it, right? So,
Yeah, exactly.
But just cool games like that, man. Dance Revolution was prime, and then I found I would play like Aero games on the computer a lot more when that come out.
Yeah, DDR was fun, man. DDR was a good party
like those were early 2000 games when we were talking about the topics of like what do you like as early 2000 games. Those would be the early 2000 games that would be on my list that are top notch, rated out from where I would like for sure. So
out of 1 to 15, what would you rank all these games you're talking about? What's number one for you, man? Like, what's your ultimate favorite childhood game?
I mean, that's hard to say. I've played a lot of video games in my time, and ultimately, I was a huge fan of the Crash Bandicoot series, the Spyro series.
Oh.
So if I'm going to rank one over the other, there's so many differences to it. Spyro was hilarious because you'd run around with this dragon, basically, and you would go and get the diamonds or whatever you'd be chasing around.
And stuff, yeah.
And these little things would be chasing you. Then I started kind of like some of those like Ape Escape games and all that.
Yeah.
But Ape Escape wasn't, now looking back, if you could play it now, it wasn't as intriguing as it was. Crash Bandicoot, personally, my favorite. Anything Crash Bandicoot was huge for me. That little Oogla Boogla guy there would get you hurrying pissed off all the time. But save your life once in a while, so.
Yeah.
So why, if I'm going to rank that, it's my favorite game.
You're right, that's your
favorite. We're going to go around.
I agree.
What about you, man?
What about me? I would probably say, I'd say definitely I'd go with Crash, man. Like, growing up, like, I just can remember that's the first thing I'd always play and then try to beat those levels, and they get harder and harder every time. Like, yeah, man, Crash Bandicoot's got to be the one. And I mean, like, not to say that it sounds more twinish here because like it really does, the both of us. But hey, like grass is like where it's at, man. I can remember playing on PlayStation 1, and PlayStation 1s were at All Star, dude, and now you can get it on the PS4. So, like, Crash Bandicoot, man, it's hands down. Like, and I would say that there's no other game out there that's like it. So.
Yeah, I mean, in newer era, if you're going to rank another game, for me, I was in the top. That's really sad at top of the list.
Like, new era.
New era is going to be Fortnite for me.
Yeah, it's weird. Like,
oddly enough, I don't play it as much as I used to, but Fortnite had really been a huge top end new game. That
I gotta see Battlefield, but I gotta go with Battlefield 3. You know what I mean?
You want to revert back on that if you're going to talk Battlefield, then Hardline and stuff like that's not the way to go.
No.
2042 sucks, but a huge Battlefield, man. Battlefield 3 is the top end for sure.
Oh, I agree. So yeah, Nate, I don't know if you got anything else to say on this episode. I thought this was extremely fun. Like I really enjoyed doing this.
Not really, and I hope that this works out and I'm not getting back echo from you because I am hearing you out of my speakers currently.
Yeah.
So if it's transferring audio to you to me, well, God, let's hope it works.
Hey, should I take this program that we're running with now? This is called Riverside. Riverside's a new program we're trying out. Riverside separates the audio and makes them in 2 separate tracks. So I'm hoping that maybe this won't sound like it. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. We appreciate you as always. Stay tuned for the new drop for the clothing. Check out Ball Hockey Union on Facebook. Check them out on is it Facebook or Instagram?
Well, we got a Facebook page, but I've mainly been running on the Instagram for now.
Okay.
So yeah, check us out on Instagram.
Check out McLean's Projects on Facebook. If you need anything built, you need anything, taken care of, you got a bad leak or something, I'm sure Nathan can help you out there. And as always, guys, thank you for listening. Check us out on Spotify. We're now on Apple Podcasts. YouTube, this video will be uploaded to YouTube probably tonight and live tomorrow on YouTube. As we're going to try to make, Nathan, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this. We're going to try to make, more frequent episodes, but release on Mondays per se if we can do it. But as always, guys, we love you so much. Thank you for listening to the C and Double podcast. Without you, we couldn't do it. And as always, keep seeing double. That was an awesome Bert, Nathan. Let's throw it back to you. Do you get anything to say?
No, man, just keep them tall pines in your mind. Peace.
Peace.